Welcome everyone again. We'll start this over to the Whitestown Town Council regular meeting on July 8th, 2020. If everyone will please, we'll bring the meeting to order, and if you would all please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we please have roll call of the council members, please? I have Rob Worrell.
Here.
Eric Miller.
He's on mute.
Eric's muted.
Unmute, Eric.
And Aaron Miller is muted too.
Present.
And Jeff Wishick.
Here.
We are minus a council president who is home sick. It is not COVID. So we just send our well wishes to seasonal allergy sufferers everywhere. First thing that we have on the agenda, which is the highlight of tonight's evening, is the Whitestown Metropolitan Police Department badge pinning. And as many know, this is Chief Dennis Anderson's, actually, this is post-retirement, but this is also our chance to say goodbye and to say thank you. We're just gonna stretch this out for a very long period until we can have a really good party for you. But we also are excited to bring on the new chief as well. So if both families would join us. And I'm going to get out of the way.
Council, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, thank the members of the department and the people of this wonderful community. It's been 12 wonderful years. I think I'm leaving behind a very strong legacy with a very strong built foundation. And tonight, what you will be witnessing for the first time in the history of this very young department is that they transition of office.
So what is happening now is the assistant chief's wife is removing his assistant chief badge. The chief's wife is removing his badge so it can be pinned on Assistant Chief Rolston. Now, Assistant Chief Rolston is presenting Chief Anderson with his retirement badge.
Is this the appropriate time to say something, or when's the appropriate time?
Absolutely, Councilman Wishick, if you'd like to say something. Chief, you may have to come up and hear it through my computer. Both chiefs may have to come up and hear it from my computer, but there are a couple, couple people.
Yeah, I don't know if they can hear me, but it's for both of them. So I just want to share that I truly appreciate everything you, Chief Anderson, have done for the town during the 12 years you've been in office as our chief. I've lived in Whitestown for over 6 years now, and in that time, it's become apparent we live in a great town with many great departments. I've had nothing but a positive experiences to share. I'm also excited to have our new chief, Scott Rolston, already in place. Scott, you've hit the ground running and made it a smooth transition. I look forward to working with you for years to come as well. So the town made a wonderful retirement video outlining many great accomplishments of Chief Anderson. In the video, all the comments I read, the same sentiment was repeated over and over about integrity, respect, heart, team, family, and honor. I'm sure, Scott, you're going to be the same type of leader that Chief Anderson was. I'd feel remiss if we did not show Chief Anderson. I think we would all feel remiss if we didn't show Chief Anderson how much we appreciate all he's done for the town. I'd like to make a motion that we name the new police headquarters the Dennis Anderson Public Safety Building and show Chief Anderson just how much he's meant to us. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Did everybody hear that? Council, are you all here?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I think this would be great for our town to show our respect for Chief Anderson.
Well, I will definitely second. Motion.
So I guess the only thing I had to say on that is maybe I'd like to see us formalize it, maybe can we come back next meeting and, have a more formal resolution.
Well, let me ask you.
I'm fine with the concept.
Jeff, let me throw something out here that we're all very upset that COVID has denied us the ability to do the send-off that we wish to do. So now you've kind of shown our hand at that send-off, doggone you. And could I ask you to withdraw so that we can do it right when we do it for you, please?
Well, so I thought you seconded it already, so I would really like a vote. I would really like to do this for Chief Anderson. We could formalize it like Eric wants.
I'd say, I mean, my thought is let's put together a good whatever it is, resolution, ordinance, whatever it is, and let's bring it back next month and vote on it. Because I think it's Chief definitely served the town well for his 12 years and did a lot for the town, and I think it would be nice for us to really memorialize that in words in a nice resolution or ordinance.
Mm-hmm. So then I hear from the comments that all of council's heart is in this. We are just wanting to postpone a little bit the formal declaration and resolution of this. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
So could we table that until next month and ask him to come back either in the front seat or the back seat if necessary with cups on to the next council meeting?
So I feel this is important for us to do. So if you guys are committing to do something like that, I think we're all on the same page. So
yeah,
Jeff, we're all committed
No
to
problem.
doing something. You just jumped the gun on us with what we
yeah.
want to do.
We just need to get it down on paper, and then we'll come back next month.
Agreed.
all right.
So this is,
I think it's a great idea.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else who had any closing comments for Dennis or for incoming Chief Ralston who would like to speak now?
I would just say to outgoing Chief Anderson, thanks for all you did for the town. I mean, you really put your heart and soul into it, and really, really worked hard on improving the department in a lot of ways. And I know I saw that up close in my years as the president of the police board, and I really appreciate all that you've done for the town. I hope you have a wonderful retirement. I hope you get to spend a lot of sun-filled days in Florida during your retirement with your wife. And then for the incoming Chief Ralston, I just say thanks for being willing to serve our community. And I think we all really look forward to working with you moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and what a great badge penning. That's a first for us. We have our first retired police chief and first retired public service chief, public safety officer chief. Is that what it was? Okay, and then now to have our second incoming police chief. It is a historic night indeed. So thank you all for joining us for this. It looks like it's going to pour. You guys need to go celebrate. So you are welcome to leave us at this time so that we can do business. We wish you two the best in your travels, and we'll see you next month. Congratulations, Chief Ralston. And thank you to your parents for joining us tonight. Next on the agenda is the clerk treasurer report. Are there any questions regarding the clerk treasurer's report?
No.
No.
Okay, going on to the department reports.
I saw it.
Going on to the department reports, I was impressed that it seems that everything is still hitting on all 4 cylinders, or 6 for some. And the departments are still working very hard and accomplishing a lot of work under these trying circumstances. So my kudos to the departments.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who helped, make the town fireworks possible. Much appreciated, and even during these trying times where many communities didn't have a fireworks display, it was good to see you guys really put in the effort to make that happen. So thank you to everyone who helped.
I concur with that. I heard over and over again that ours were the best to be seen in the area. So congratulations to everyone on that.
Well, that happens every year, so no surprise, right?
Yeah,
And I
but
think
we raise the bar every year, and
that's right.
they jump it every year. So
They literally raised the fireworks, right? They even
yeah.
planned ahead so we could see it remotely, so that was good.
Yeah, congratulations to the whole team who accomplished that on the Parks Department. Mr. Deputy Clerk Treasurer, do we have it? Did anybody have any other questions about the department reports? Okay, if not, let's go on to the public request to speak. Did we have any submissions for request to speak at tonight's meeting?
I do not.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll go on to the consent agenda. And I would go ahead and make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, which includes the approval of meeting minutes from June 10th, 2020, the B claims, the June 2020 expenses town, June 2020 revenues town, June utility claims, which includes water operating and wastewater operating, the approval of contracts for the outgoing police chief and their new police chief, D, considering expenditure exceeding $5,000 not to exceed $225,000 for the fire department headquarters equipment lease purchase. E, consider an expenditure exceeding $5,000 not to exceed $5,100 PR department fireworks live stream. F, consider an expenditure exceeding $5,000 not to exceed $641,250 in the police department building construction. G, approval of structure point contract for design of roundabout at Main Street in Albert S. With the council approving authorization of me, Susan Austin, to sign all of the documents tonight on behalf of the council. So there's the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second
by Eric Miller. Do we have any council questions?
Can I make
No.
one comment?
Sure.
I just want to thank Danny and his team for the structure point contract. I think it was well planned. There were a lot of cost savings within there where they were able to utilize known data and previously done work, and it's a smart way to go. And sometimes when you put this in a consent agenda, they don't get the credit they deserve, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. There's a lot of planning, a lot of savings to the town. It was the right decision, so thank you for that.
Agreed. Thank you for pointing that out, Rob. That is excellent work.
Thank you, Rob.
Anything else? If not, could we have a vote, please?
Councilman Worrell,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Austin,
Yes?
Councilman Wishick.
Yes.
Okay, carries 4-0. And under item 7, we have no unfinished business, so we'll go straight to the new business this evening, which is bear with me. We have a public hearing regarding the Fishback 3 annexation ordinance. So at this time, I would like to, at 7:18 p.m., I will open the public hearing for the Fishback 3 annexation ordinance. Is there anyone who would like to speak for or against the Fishback 3 annexation ordinance? It is a super voluntary ordinance. Seeing no one is here to speak, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion made, seconded by Eric to close the public hearing. All in favor signify by roll call vote, please.
Councilman Worrell,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Austin,
Yes,
Councilman Wishick.
Yes.
thank you all. The public hearing is closed. Next up is to consider the adoption of the fiscal plan resolution, resolution number 2020-09, which is a fiscal policy resolution for annexing contiguous territory to the town of Whitestown, Indiana, the Fishback 3 super voluntary annexation. It is a resolution.
I would move that we adopt resolution number 2020-09.
Motion made, second.
Second.
Who seconded, Rob? Was that
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion made, seconded. All in favor signify by a vote, please.
Councilman Worrell,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Austin,
Yes.
Councilman Wishick.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Next up is the resolution for designating committee to review ordinances. And I'm going to read this one in its entirety. Town of Whitestown, Indiana, resolution number 2020-10, a resolution to review Whitestown's town code, policies, and practices to eliminate any forms of racism or discrimination. Whereas the Whitestown Town Council is responsible for enacting ordinances and approving various procedures and practices of the town of Whitestown. And whereas recent events have demonstrated that racism and discrimination can still exist in local governments, even if implicit and unrecognized. And whereas all forms of racism or discrimination, whether explicit or implicit, are unacceptable and must be eliminated from local government. And whereas the town council desires to eliminate any forms of racial discrimination or prejudice, whether implicit or explicit, that may exist in the town code or other town policies and practices to ensure equal treatment of all people regardless of race. And whereas the town council desires to establish a committee to review the town code and other town policies and practices to identify and eliminate all forms of racism and discrimination. And whereas the town council directs the boards overseeing police department and fire department to review police department and fire department policies and practices to identify and eliminate all forms of racism and discrimination. Now therefore be it resolved by the town council of the town of Whitestown, Indiana as follows. Section 1, there is hereby established a committee to review town code and other town policies and practices for purposes of this ordinance. Section 2, the committee shall consist of 4 members, including 1 member of the town council and 3 town employees. The town council president shall appoint committee members. The town council president may remove members from the committee with or without cause. Section 3, the Whitestown Town Manager shall act as non-voting advisory member to the committee. Section 4, the committee shall conduct a comprehensive review of the town code and town policies and practices to identify any forms of racism or discrimination, whether explicit or implicit. The committee shall produce a report outlining its findings and providing recommendations to the town council for eliminating any racism or discrimination that is identified. And the committee shall present the report to the town council on or before December 31st, 2020. This resolution, Section 5, this resolution, the committee shall expire on December 31st, 2020 unless terminated sooner. Section 6, the town council also directs the boards overseeing the fire department, police department to conduct a comprehensive review of fire department, police department policies and practices to identify any forms of racism or discrimination, whether explicit or implicit. The boards overseeing the fire department, police department shall each produce a report detailing their findings and providing recommendations to the town council for eliminating any racism or discrimination that is identified. And the board shall present these reports to the town council on or before December 31st, 2020. I am pleased to make the motion that we adopt resolution number 2020-10.
Second.
Eric Miller seconded. All council in favor, please vote by roll call vote.
Councilman Worrell,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Is it okay if I comment before my vote or
Sure.
after my vote?
Go ahead.
My vote's yes, and I just want to say thank you to President Baum for moving this resolution forward as we discussed last month. This is important to make sure that we eliminate racism anywhere that it exists within town government. This is crucial. This is just the first step, but I think it's a good first step. So that's why I vote yes.
Councilwoman Austin,
Absolutely. And again, my kudos to both Council President Baum and Eric, Councilperson Miller as well for jumping on this as fast as they did, saying, let's look at everything, let's be comprehensive about this, and let's come up with solutions and recommendations quickly on this, because as we all know, this is unacceptable. Should that there be implicit or explicit unacceptable discrimination. So yes.
Councilman Wishick,
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you all. This is great, a great resolution. And the final item for tonight is an EDC board appointment. The board has not, Economic Development Commission Board has not had a need to meet until this time, and we are short an appointee, and the council is recommended, and we make the motion that the council appoint Rob Worrell to this board. Do we have a second?
Second.
Eric Miller seconds. And one more time, could we have a vote by roll call?
Councilman Worrell,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Austin,
Yes.
Councilman Wishick.
Yes.
And motion carries 4-0. Do we have any other, congratulations, Rob. I'm sure you'll do good on that. Do we have any other business in front of us this evening?
I just have one thing that I wanted to discuss with the council. You know, we just passed Juneteenth on June 19th, and it commemorates the ending of slavery, and the holiday. It dates back to June 19th, 1865, when the Union soldiers brought news to Galveston, Texas, that those they had treated as slaves were now free. I think we all probably learned learned a little bit more about that this year through everything that's going on. But my thinking was that it would be nice if we would work on an ordinance to make that a holiday for the town. And I was just wondering if there, obviously we're not going to have a vote or anything, but is there support on amongst the council for that type of ordinance?
I would absolutely support that. I think it's important, you know, just as we celebrate the Festival of Lights, that we can bring awareness to many different groups that reside in our town, that are part of our town, that are part of us. And the more we can help provide clarification to why these are important holidays, I think it's incumbent upon us to do that. I would absolutely be for that. Is that something that we could request Town Manager Mr. Lawson and Mr. Unger to work on?
I think that would be great as long as there's
Do we have other
more
council
support
members
on the council.
support this?
Yeah, I think it's,
I appreciate you. Sorry, Rob.
go ahead,
Go
Jeff.
for it.
Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead, bud.
I was gonna say, Eric, I appreciate you bringing this up. I think it's a great idea, and I think we should definitely look into it.
I will work with Steve on that.
That'd be great. And Rob?
Yeah, I was going to throw my support. You know, there's always a good reason to celebrate and acknowledge freedom, right? And we should take time to do that. And it's a good way to provide education as well on the date. I know personally I was able to do some research, and there's some friends out there that were making me aware of it as well. So it's the right thing to do.
So maybe I'll make a motion that we have the town manager, Jason Lawson, work with Steve Unger this month on putting together whatever is appropriate, whether it's a resolution or ordinance to make Juneteenth a holiday in the town of Whitestown.
We will get that done.
I'll second that. Mr. Miller, do you, one more time, a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Worrell,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilwoman Austin,
Yes.
Councilman Wishick.
Yes.
Thank you. Is there any other business for this evening?
I have none.
I have none, other than everyone try to stay cool in this heat and enjoy the summer. So I'd make a motion that we adjourn for the evening. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Miller seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye in your name. Aye, Susan Austin.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Jeff. Check.
Hi, Eric Miller.
There we go. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all and see you next month.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.